Surgeon General's warning, women who may be drunk should not nurse pregnant children or smoke cigars or use tobacco products.
Hi everyone, you're watching Indulge TV. This is our second episode. If you saw the first one, I want to thank everybody for watching. We're on YouTube and Vimeo, and we're now podcasting. And we're also on some local public access TV stations, so everybody's watching. Thanks, I appreciate it. We got some good feedback from the first show. We got some comments on YouTube, some hits, people are watching. That's great. My name's Todd. I'm the owner of a cigar store, an online cigar store called IndulgeCigars.com. And if you haven't seen the show, it's a cigar and wine and drink review show. Each week we're going to have a cigar, a different kind of cigar, paired up with some kind of beverage, a spirit, or even a non-alcoholic beverage if we want to. And we'll review and we'll talk and we'll BS. And this week is no different. We're going to be smoking some NUB cigars, and we're going to be pairing it up with some Ommegang beer. Each week we have guests, and this week we've got a returning guest and a new guy, a new face. The returning guest is my friend Mark Schlegel over here on the left.
Great to be here.
Thanks for coming on, Mark. Travis,
always a pleasure.
Travis,
at least it was last time.
Travis, the lunatic, face-ripping chimp, declined my invitation. So naturally, I went to you, my good friend. I didn't want to incestualize this show as much as I did the first episode, so I want to bring on some people that I'm not related to, or I didn't grow up with or go to high school with. So that's why we got my man John here. John is a volunteer fireman. He lives here in upstate New York. He's a cigar lover, and I used to run a public access TV station, and John would come in all the time, and we'd BS about some of the programming that we had on the station, because there's that interactivity that people have with their community when they watch public access television. So I had these two guys come on, and I'm going to review a couple cigars, and they're going to help me deconstruct the flavors and all the other nuances that come with reviewing cigars. So let's go take a look at the smokes. Today we're going to be reviewing the new NUB cigar. The NUB is made by the Oliva family, and if you don't know who the Oliva family is and you're a cigar smoker, you must be living under a bridge. This is not necessarily an Oliva cigar. The story behind the NUB is that a sales rep that worked for the Oliva family, Sam Lucia, after working there and being a sales rep for many years, he kind of got involved with the industry and kind of learned the business, and he kind of started to have his own ideas and some of his own ambitions in the world of cigars, and he came up with his own cigar blend, and it's very unique. The cigars are all very heavy gauged cigars. For example, here we've got the NUB Habano 466. It's 4 inches long by 66 gauge. The cigars all have a very short size. None of them are longer than 4 inches, and they all have a heavy gauge. All of them are at least 56 gauge. The idea behind the NUB is to create a immediate and prolonged sweet spot. But we've got 3 blends here. We have a Connecticut, a Habano, and a Cameroon. The Connecticut has a almost silky golden wrapper, very few veins. It's the milder of the 3. The Habano is the heaviest by far. It's got a very toothy wrapper. The wrapper almost has a reddish hue to it. Many Habano wrappers do, dark brown. The Cameroon is the medium-bodied. It also has a very smooth wrapper, very oily wrapper too, nice sheen. Today we're going to be pairing up our cigars with some Belgian beer. And what makes this so special is that this beer is actually brewed in our own backyard here. We're in Schenectady, and about an hour and 20 minutes west of us in Cooperstown, New York, is the Ommegang Brewery, and they make Belgian-style beer. And if you've never had Belgian-style beer, it's quite an experience. Very full-flavored, very complex, and also very high in alcohol volumes. So let's crack into these. Now, A couple tips here. These beers have a cork top, so we're gonna pop these.
Ooh.
Now, just be careful. Just so you know, never re-cork one of these beers because the pressure will build up, and this cork will explode, and the beer is gonna fly all over the place. So, be very careful. What we got here first is the wit beer, the Vit beer. It's a white or wheat beer. It's the lighter of the three. So I'm going to do a little pour here. The pour is also very important. Pour slowly, tip your glass. All right, we poured our first glass of beer. Now we're going to pick out our cigars. We're going to clip them and light them, and then when we come back, we'll be ready to go. Welcome back. You're watching Indulge TV. We spared you having to watch us cut and light these cigars because these nubs have huge ring gauges. It took us forever to get these things going, even with our torch lighters. I'm smoking the Connecticut. John's smoking the Habano. Mark's having the Cameroon. All of them are around the same size, 4 inches. Mine's 60 gauge, so is John's, but I think Mark's is also 4x60. The idea behind the Oliva nub is to create an instant and prolonged sweet spot. So the cigars are very short, but I think you're going to be surprised just how long these cigars last for. These are not 20-minute smokes. Very firm bunch, firm roll. They look, the torpedoes that we didn't light up the torpedo, but the torpedo looks like a tank bullet. These things are really almost goofy looking, a little unwieldy.
What I call the nub.
Which is funny enough what the girls called you in high school, right?
And it wasn't because I lost part of an appendage.
There's an herbalness to this. Another signature of a Connecticut cigar. But what I really want to start doing is throwing back some of this beer and seeing how things pair up. John, like we said, he does not imbibe, which we're cool with. So he's having club, ice, and lime, which I made that recipe.
It's excellent, by the way.
You are so tolerant. Never ceases to amaze me.
I tolerate people like John the way that Sarah Palin tolerates homosexuals.
That's right.
We both should be commended.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, in fact, that's this is our second episode here, and the first episode we put on YouTube. We also put on on our local public access TV station. In fact, John, you saw the show while watching public access, right?
Yeah, our public access station around here is great. They have a lot of programs you just don't see anywhere else. And I came home and
including nonsense like this.
Nonsense like this. I turned it on last week and I was pleasantly surprised. See on there,
and the reason John is
we're too edgy. We're too edgy for the mainstream.
Yeah, people can't handle the stuff that we're throwing down here.
They can't handle it. No.
John was the only person who watched it on television and emailed or contacted me. So, John, there's a place in my heart for you, my friend, because
right.
I was sitting there waiting by
there's something wrong.
I was waiting by the phone or by the computer, and there's the email from John saying, and John and we know each other just casually through Channel 16. I was the station manager at a public access TV station. John would come in and we'd BS about some of the programming. So I want to thank you for encouraging me, and that's why you're on this week. Plus, nobody else wanted to come on. So,
Thanks for having me. Any excuse to have a cigar is fine with me.